Today is Bilbo's 7,135th birthday. Well, I think that's the case. I don't for sure know, but as far as Tolkien reckoned his birthday and the years, I think it's about his birthday. And I do know Bilbo half as well as I should like, because I am reading Lord of the Rings for the first time in my life. And Lord of the Rings is about Frodo, who, lesser known fact, today is also Frodo's birthday because Bilbo and Frodo shared a birthday. Now, again, I know Frodo and I know Bilbo half as well as I should like because I haven't really read The Hobbit yet. And it's such a small amount of time in Lord of the Rings to spend among such an excellent and admirable hobbit. But in this video, all I want to do is speak a little ode to the hobbits. Because before I read the books, they were my least favorite race, which sounds a little weird to say, but I think I liked men most of all, then dwarves, and elves were maybe tied, and then maybe Ents were above all other people. But hobbits just seemed a bit lame in the movie. They weren't really that resilient, and Samwise was he was a great character, but that was kind of it. And they lacked the strength and the fortitude of other races of Middle-earth. Yet, as today is Bilbo's birthday and Frodo's birthday, I have to say, as I'm reading Lord of the Rings for the first time, they've become my favorite. Maybe this is a hot take, and I'm not even done with my first time read yet, but they are so beyond resilient that it's an understatement just to say that they are enduring. Because they do more than endure. I find most of the lines that I really truly love in this book are spoken by hobbits. And I came to this realization a few days ago when I was reading through the Muster of Rohan chapter in The Return of the King. And this is a chapter in which Merry, who is commanded to stay back with Éowyn and with the women and children before the riders of Rohan ride to Gondor, but he is adamant about going and fighting. And Theoden tells him to stay, and this is what Merry's response is. I offered you my sword. I do not want to be parted from you like this, Theoden King. And as all my friends have gone to battle, I should be ashamed to stay behind. But we ride on horses tall and swift, said Theoden. And great though your heart be, you cannot ride on such beasts. Then tie me onto the back of one, or let me hang on a stirrup or something, said Merry. It is a long way to run, but run I shall if I cannot ride, even if I wear my feet off and arrive weeks too late. Now, this hobbit is the smallest, and perhaps one of the weakest people physically that we've seen in the books. Yet his courage is something to be awed at. That he wants to fight for those he loves more than anyone else is maybe his most excellent and admirable quality. Merry is the kind of person that I want fighting right at my side. And he's a hobbit. His devotion to his friends and his stubbornness to stay by their side is perfect. And in the beginning of the story, I think Merry has one of my favorite lines that I've ever read in the entire series so far. When Frodo tells them that he is leaving Pippin and Sam and Merry behind, and Fredegar Bolger too, we can't really forget about Fatty, Merry actually stops Frodo in his tracks. And he says, "But it does not seem that I can trust anyone," said Frodo. Sam looked at him unhappily. "It all depends on what you want," put in Merry. "You can trust us to stick to you through thick and thin, to the bitter end. And you can trust us to keep any secrets of yours closer than you keep it yourself. But you cannot trust us to let you face trouble alone and go off without a word. We are your friends, Frodo." Anyway, there it is. We know most of what Gandalf has told you. We know a good deal about the ring. We are horribly afraid, but we are coming with you. Or following you like hounds. Merry, it's just excellent and admirable. One of the best. Pippin too is an amazing hobbit. Fearless and ever hopeful. When he was waiting with Baragon on the wall in Minas Tirith, on the precipice of battle, when a Nazgul flies over their head and their courage is completely stolen away, it's Pippin who shakes it off. And this is what the book says. He shook himself. "It is past," he said. "No, my heart will not despair. Gandalf fell and has returned and is with us. We may stand, if only on one leg, or at least be left still upon our knees." It's this hobbit who shakes Baragon out of his hopeless state. Because hobbits are just so tough, and they endure so well. I find that I really just want to be a hobbit. Especially because I just eat food all the time. In the first 3 chapters of Return of the King, we switch back and forth between Merry and Pippin's perspective, and they are doing great things in these chapters. They are doing incredible things, and in the middle of like swearing their allegiances to the King of Rohan and the King of Gondor respectively, they are just thinking about food and how hungry they are. I love hobbits for this reason. And I love hobbits because one of the bravest of this book is young Master Samwise, the only member of the Fellowship, which is really called a company, who isn't royalty or a living angel. And he acts like it. Book Sam is a bit grumpier than the movie counterpart, but he is no less lovely. In the first moment I truly fell in love with Sam, he bids goodbye to Bill before they enter the Mines of Moria. And he sits and cries on a rock for a while before he can compose himself again. Now, the movies don't really show this, but Sam nursed Bill back to health when they got him from Bree. And it really shows the character of Samwise. And Sam is the kind of person whose real self shows the deeper in adversity that he goes. In one of the most different book-to-movie chapters in Shelob's Lair, after Shelob stabs Frodo, we get one of the best written chapters that I've ever encountered in my entire life, where Tolkien walks us through the pain that Samwise is feeling, the loss that he has experienced. But then he battles Shelob, where Samwise truly loves Frodo and cannot move forward without him. In fact, he actually even tries to move forward without Frodo. Frodo's dead body is laying right by Shelob's lair, and he puts on the ring and he attempts to move ahead. But as he walks, his feet betray him and his heart tells him to go back. And as he's about to go back, he's actually forced to move by a group of orcs who find Frodo, and Sam follows them, likely to his own death and doom. But he wears that ring and wields the Phial of Galadriel, and I don't think there is a single being in Middle-earth who Sam could not fight and win in that moment. I love Sam in the movies, as the movies kind of really center on him. I love him even more in the books, because I see his flaws a little deeper, and I see him as a character who I think all of us kind of see ourselves in to some extent. A flawed hobbit who does the right thing when the time comes, who loves deeply and fights not only for those he loves, but he fights to keep the Shire a place where evil cannot touch it. I love Sam. But the one who I really want to talk about, or the two, are the birthday boys, or birthday men, because they are hobbits. They are of age in hobbit standards, which is 33 years old. So Pippin is actually still a boy when they go on their journey. But I think Bilbo's book is obviously The Hobbit, so I cannot speak much to him at the moment. But in the moments that Bilbo is on the page of The Lord of the Rings are golden, and they are perfect. First of all, he has this great moment where he leaves gifts for his relations as he leaves the Shire, and they are the greatest gifts that I have ever read. He gives an empty bookshelf to someone that keeps stealing his books. He gives a blank notebook to someone who never wrote him, and a trash basket to someone who wrote him too much. And he gives a set of spoons to the Sackville Bagginses because they kept stealing his spoons. He's just a lovely hobbit. And he's lonely. The very first essay I wrote on this book a number of months ago was on the loneliness of Bilbo, and how I just felt so bad for him. At his birthday, where he likely feels like he has only one friend in Frodo, and Frodo kind of just realizes that he truly loves Bilbo just a little too late, right after he leaves. But then we get this glorious reunion of those two in Rivendell, when they kind of catch up and they're able to share their love for each other. And Bilbo, at the close of the chapter, says one of the most beautiful lines in literature that I have ever encountered in my entire life. And he speaks this to Frodo. He says, "Good night, Frodo. Bless me, but it has been good to see you again. There are no folk like hobbits, after all, for a real good talk. I am getting old, very old, and I begin to wonder if I should live to see your chapters of our story. Good night. I think I'll take a walk and look at the stars of Elbereth in the garden. Sleep well." And he's not just a good talker either, he is fiercely and intensely brave. The first person to volunteer to take the ring to Mount Doom was none other than Bilbo and the Council of Elrond. And it was such a lovely section too, because Boromir starts laughing, thinking that Bilbo was joking and the whole thing was just a big joke. When he learned that no one else was laughing, and Glóin was actually looking at Bilbo with a fond memory and warmth in his eyes, you truly get a grasp on how much these people in this council love and respect this hobbit, this excellent and admirable hobbit. And finally we come to Frodo, who I am kind of as shocked as anyone for what I'm about to say, but I actually think that I love Frodo the most in this book, and I think he's my favorite character. It's a tough one between him and Gimli, to be completely honest, but for the sake of this essay, I'm going to say Frodo is my favorite. Because he's not whiny like the movies play him out. He's not a sad boy either. He's brave. He's emotionally with it, and he isn't afraid to tell people what he thinks. He's a leader. He is a natural leader, and exceedingly kind. He may not possess all the wisdom of someone like Gandalf, or the fighting ability of someone like an Aragorn, or even maybe just the lineage of a Gimli or a Legolas. But he is the bravest hobbit that I know. So brave, in fact, that in Shelob's lair, when they felt this presence coming at them, and they didn't know what it was Shelob, Frodo lights the file of Galadriel, marches straight for this being that he has no clue about, and he goes right for her. In the face of peril and in the face of the unknown. I don't know if I would do that. And the strength he possesses to be the bearer of the ring of power, and to still not have his mind addled yet, is an incredible accomplishment that I don't think too many in Middle-earth could actually claim. Gandalf himself doesn't want the ring, or he doesn't even want the temptation of it. Galadriel desired it, but she overcame her temptation. But Frodo, while he is slowly fading and slowly losing himself, doesn't desire power. He doesn't desire riches or fame. He's fighting to keep the Shire alive and well, untarnished. He is fighting for the beauty of Middle-earth. Because it is truly my belief that the Shire is the Eden of all Middle-earth, and Frodo's love and devotion to that place, and to the people there, and to the way that they have of living there, is my favorite thing about Frodo. It's his selflessness. It's one of the most incredible attributes of a character that I have ever seen, and I think Frodo might be the most selfless character in all of literature. Frodo knows he is marching to his death. He's known that likely since before he departed from the Fellowship, and yet that doesn't detract him from knowing what he must do. He keeps taking one step after the other, after the other, after the other, because of his love for the Shire and his desire to keep that place green. And I just love hobbits, and I love this hobbit in particular so much. And today, on Bilbo and Frodo's birthday, I just wanted to wish them both a happy birthday and sing my praises for the race of hobbits, the most brave and gritty and peaceful of all beings in Middle-earth. If you ever want to adopt a 6'2" hobbit, I am here and I'm ready. Happy birthday, Bilbo and Frodo.